everybody, and welcome to another episode of Grain of Salt. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether you're on YouTube, iHeart, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Thank you so much for being here. All right, and thank you for Melisa for also being here, I guess. Yep. She really contributes a lot to this podcast. Today we have a juicy topic that if you guys are tuning into this podcast, you probably have some experience with and can relate. So feel free to jump into the comments on this episode and tell us about your experiences, or if you have any questions about ours you want us to elaborate more on, go ahead and do that, because we're so generous and awesome. Out of the people who comment, we're going to pick one, and you're going to get a 2021 Toyota RAV4. That's not legally binding. No. What is our topic this week?
This week we have social media.
Oh, I thought it was... I'm just kidding.
I was like, did I say it wrong?
There's only one way to say social media.
Yeah. The interwebs.
Yeah, oh my God, imagine. Yeah, so we're going to talk about our experiences with social media and just how we feel about it. Yeah. So every episode we're like, why don't we just dive right in?
Yeah. So let's dive right in.
Yeah.
I think the first social media like I got onto was Facebook. Mm-hmm. And that was in like 5th grade, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, because all my friends at the time like had a Facebook, and my friend was
I remember you talking about this.
And my friend was like, "Oh, like I'll just make you one." And she literally made me she made me an email. She gave me like a little paper with my email and my password and everything. And I was just like, "Hey, lit." And I think I had a tablet at the moment, so I was like on that, but my parents would check it all the time, so I would have to like delete it, and like they didn't know how to fucking check the history, so it didn't even matter, but I was like always trying to delete it and stuff. But then I think I only just used it to like talk to my friends. Like I don't,
like, what's my password?
Yeah. I don't think I didn't have a phone at the time, so like the only way was like I got home and then I either went on my dad's computer or like on my tablet, and then it was...
This was like what, a Kindle Fire?
No,
it's clearly not an iPad.
Yeah. It was actually a Samsung.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whenever you say tablet, you're like, oh, a tablet?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, not an iPad. Tablet.
Green message bubbles galore on that thing. Or email.
Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't really use it for much then, and I didn't really know how to use it, I guess. Like, I would literally post pictures of puppies. Oh my God, so cute.
Oh my God, she poked me.
Yeah, literally.
Poking was... What the fuck was that?
I don't even know what that was.
It was literally just like... I don't understand it. I think it was like just to like...
Yeah, I would see all my notifications, like all my friends are like, oh, this person poked you, or this person... I'm like...
What the fuck was that?
What do I do now? Yeah. Like, do I poke someone else?
Yeah.
Like...
Hey, you're not wearing green. Oh, that's pinching. Sorry. And it has to be one day of the year.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's like July 29th. I don't need to wear green today.
Oh God. But yeah, I think after that, like I would literally just post like One Direction in like middle school. That was like it. And then we used to have like fun Fridays in middle school. So it was like I think once every other Friday we would do it. And our teacher was like, "Oh, you can bring like your like electronics and you can just use them in the class." Like,
oh shit!
Yeah,
that's like really lenient. What the hell?
And so I always took my tablet because no one else had a fucking tablet or an iPad to take to school.
I would Excuse me, I have a tablet.
Yeah, I would always sneak mine in though, like from my mom. My mom wouldn't let me take it, but I just like would sneak it in the back of my backpack and just leave. And like I would take pictures of me and my friends. I
had a camera?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it is a cool tablet.
I think it was just this one specific day where I took pictures because it was like raining and we had gone out and like we were literally playing in the puddles and shit, and I was like dancing on it and I fell in the puddle. God. And then like my whole side was like soaked in water. So then we just like went inside and then we were like taking pictures, but all of us were like wet because we were obviously outside in the rain.
Yeah.
But it's actually a really cute picture. I actually love that picture. There's like 5 of us in that pic.
I would die to see this picture.
Yeah.
That'd be so cute.
I'll bring it up later. I think I have it on my phone. I don't know. But
you definitely have it on your tablet.
Yeah. I don't even know what that fucking thing is. No. I'm pretty sure my brother broke it. We went to go get his screen replaced, and it was like at the Sunset Market. So I think they put a literal iPad screen on it because you could lift it.
Oh my
on the
God.
sides. It was crazy. Yeah.
Wow. That's
yeah,
like
and then
really not good.
Yeah. And then my dad was like, "What the fuck? I paid $100 for this shit."
$100?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was crazy. But sorry.
That was really yummy.
Super yummy.
But you're in the splash zone for the vomit.
But yeah, that specific day I posted those pictures, and they're still up on my Facebook, I'm pretty sure. But I don't think I ever was super like adamant on like, oh, I have to post, or like I don't think I ever
fans are waiting
yeah, exactly.
for me to post a tablet picture from my 5th grade classroom.
Literally. So I don't know. I just never was super like about it. Even like when I was older, like in high school, I would. Yeah,
you never really posted often.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know, because I sometimes am like, I should have taken a picture that day. Like that was such a good day. I would just have the memory. Like I don't have anything physical to like go off of.
What the fuck? Just a memory.
Yeah. Literally.
Why even go then?
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I look back and I'm like, oh, I should have like taken more pictures. I feel like that
they are
been.
like, it's nice to see the memory.
And I like some of the pictures I have, or I had on like up on my Instagram, like I put them like in my archives because I was like,
I've archived a little bit, but most of mine are public. I don't know how I fucking posted so much. I have like 700 Instagram posts.
I have like
literally
6
insane.
Right now.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I guess like since I've had it for like 10 years now.
Holy fuck.
I don't know.
You're an old ass bitch.
It was like 8th grade. I was probably like 13.
Crazy.
I didn't realize I've had it for like 10 years. But like if you think about it, like 700 posts is like a post every day for 2 years. So like spread out over 10 years, it's like, I guess. But now I don't like, the last post I made was like, it had been like a month since I posted on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know. Like even on my stories, that's something that's like quick. Like you snap a picture and just post it. Like
I post on my story a lot on Instagram. I never post on Snapchat. I don't really tweet that much. I started on Facebook too. I think I was like 10 or something.
Really?
And started on Facebook, and that shit was like, it was fun.
Yeah, it was. I like, people would, you know how you could play games on it? Like they had like little games.
Like
no.
Like what?
I don't know.
Like Farmville?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, and you can connect it, and you can like see other people's like progress on the game too. We're like,
oh, that's cool.
It was kind of.
I used to play The Price is Right a shit ton on Facebook. Like everyone would start to be like GL2 the number 2 all, and that would be like good luck to all of you.
Oh, what the hell?
Like made it get to the fucking showcase and get all my coins. That was my shit for a little while.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I never, even the games, like I would never like go on them and play with them with my friends. Like I never was on it long enough to really know how to navigate it.
Yeah.
And even to this day, like now Facebook, I feel like people our age, like Facebook is not really a thing they post on. So when they go on there, they're like, what the fuck is going on now? Like,
literally. I do go on Facebook quite a bit.
Really?
But in 2020 or right before, I lost access to my Facebook. Like I reset my password, but like I don't remember like it was a weird thing of like I didn't remember the password I reset it to or whatever. And like it was like something with 2-factor authentication, and I could not remember the password, and they were like, okay, well, you're not getting in. And I was like, holy shit. And I never got the account back. Like I had to make a whole new Facebook, and like
oh shit.
and it was like when I was trying to solve it, it was like right when COVID happened. So like there were and I don't even know if now you can call Facebook or something, but like specifically during COVID, I remember like there was no actual people. Like it was like you can't like contact anybody at Facebook to like recover, at least during the time I was trying. But yeah, there was like no getting that account back, and like all of my pictures are on there. Like people who are friends with me can see it. So like hopefully I can like just go on someone's account one day and like save all of them, because like there's a lot of like there's old fucking videos of me like running around with a little camcorder and shit. But
that's funny.
Yeah, Yeah, social media it's cool, and I started my first not my first YouTube channel, but like the one I kept for a while. I started it on my 13th birthday, and then like that's where I started like posting videos and like getting better at editing and stuff. And I think that was in a way like my education, like getting like my schooling or whatever. I know it's not like formal schooling, but I learned a lot like just by posting videos out of passion, and I learned a lot about what my passion is. And I had a job last year. I'm not at this job anymore, but like I was editing videos for a channel that had like 1.5 million subscribers, and I was like, I probably wouldn't have a lot of these skills developed as much as they are. Well, I know I like for a fact I wouldn't have them as developed as they were if I didn't have that YouTube channel that I started. And like if I think about like when I was, in the midst of it, I was like, gosh, like I've been going at this for so long, and I only have like 6,000 subscribers. Like at one point I uploaded every Friday for like a while.
Yeah,
like,
I remember that.
It was a long ass time, and like maybe like 2 years or something, but to juggle that in school and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
It was kind of a lot. Like sometimes like, and I was like pretty dedicated. Like sometimes I would wake up on a Friday like from a nap. Like I was so tired, and then like I'd film like some bullshit video. Sorry.
Yep. Just that type of episode this time.
But yeah, and like looking back on it, I'm like, oh, it wasn't a waste of time. Like I didn't get like YouTube famous or whatever, but like I did make a kind of decent amount of money, like for what it is. Like over the whole course of the channel, I made like $2,000. Like that's certainly not anything livable or whatever, but like for like just like a high school kid, like I was getting like payments from YouTube. Like every few months there would be like $100 because you have to cross a threshold to like of $100 to get a payment. But yeah, and like the social media is like a big part of, I mean, it is essentially what I do now for work. So like I think, and I don't think it necessarily goes for everybody. I think even I'd go as far to say the vast majority of people don't like work in social media right now, but for me specifically, like getting that early start and like having my parents allow me to get on social media at a young age, like it just gave me a head start at developing the skills and navigating the apps and working with the changes and the updates with like the different apps. Cause like I've been on Snapchat and I'm still like, I have a Snapchat account. I have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, fucking YouTube, obviously. And like you have to like know your way around. Like people have like everyone has heard of like an elderly person who's like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Like, what is Facebook? What is this? And so it is like a genuine skill set. Like there's a learning curve with it, and not everyone, like there's definitely features that I still don't know about, and I maybe should be taking advantage of, but I just like it's such a vast thing for like each app. But, and TikTok is like I do that for the podcast. I'm like, I'm on TikTok quite a bit.
I think I'm just not that like, I guess open to be. I feel like I'm just like
more private.
Not private, but like I just get embarrassed. I mean, when we film the fucking TikToks, you can tell, I guess. But
really,
I
couldn't tell.
Really?
No, like I really couldn't.
I feel like I'm just like, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huh. Which I don't mind it, like I don't care, you know, but I'm just like, oh, like I don't know what to do, like you know what I mean. But I don't know, like I've maybe just because I've never like really been around, like obviously you have like a passion for it, so it was easier for you to be like, oh, I want to do this. But like for me, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, like especially in high school, I feel like they were like, oh, post on Instagram, you have to have a really good caption. And a good feed and like a theme. And I'm just like, why though? Like, isn't that just to post whatever you want? Like, you know, and that's why sometimes I'm like, I don't understand why people judge other people for their social media. It's just, you post whatever. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, like expand like on this one thing. And it's like, that's my entire day. Like, no, like people do other things throughout their day.
That's true.
Not specifically like just that one awesome thing. It's like, okay.
And if it's a picture, it's like, that is just one snapshot.
Literally.
And oftentimes people are like posing, like they take a bunch of pictures. It's like 1 out of 100. Like they choose the best one
and then edit it. And then like,
and I think a lot of people kind of know that at this point, but sometimes it is hard to keep in mind.
Oh yeah.
Especially if it's in a like consistent basis. Like, God, this person just posted something fun like this a few days ago. But like some people store their pictures and like space them out intentionally. But where I think people can kind of get like convinced in a way is YouTube videos, like vlogs specifically, where it's like it's supposed to be about you like walk through like someone's day along with them. But at the end of the day, like that is just like 15 minutes, if it's that long too, of someone's entire day, 24 hours. Literally. And a lot of times, like once there's money involved, like and we touched on this like a couple episodes, I was talking about Colleen Ballinger, and like I think it's just like they feel a pressure, and a lot of times there's also families involved, like they want to, it's their job and they want to provide for their kids, and they're trying to do the videos well and please the brands and make it look all happy and stuff. So like it's just something that's important to keep in mind, like when you're watching or taking in any sort of social media, just be like, you know, this isn't necessarily how they're living, and likely it's not. It's never someone's like full life or even their day. It's just like a snapshot. Did you Snapchat me the other day? But just a snapshot of their day. And I think there can be a lot of genuine conversations and genuine like information and stories being posted on social media, but it's a fine line for sure, and sometimes it's hard to detect of like, is this really how they're living their life? And you hear all the time like oh, a squeaky clean image on social media or whatever, and then like behind closed doors. And
that's why, like, I don't know, I think I was listening to like Trixie and Katya, and they were saying how like because we get to listen to them talk for 1 hour, like people think like you're in that relationship with them, and then like sometimes they can overstep when they see them like face to face. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Like they call each other like whores and sluts and everything, and like when someone random comes up to you that you don't know and like you say that to them, like they're gonna take it like whatever, is because I mean that's their fucking job, but like they could be like, what the fuck, like why would you just come
but also
to me and say
like
that?
You don't necessarily know if they're a fan if they just walk up to you and say that.
Exactly.
Like, for all they know, they could be getting like hate crime.
Especially,
and like you don't want to be like, oh my god, come in for a picture, and they like fucking stab you or whatever.
For sure. And I feel like I've heard a lot of like influencers say that too, like just because you listen to us or like watch us for like a set amount of minutes a day doesn't mean like you're in this relationship. Like make sure you respect
even just
us.
An hour, that's 1/24 of their day. And if they do it like we do an hour once a week, like 24 times 7, I don't want to do the math right now, but like like that is a very slim thing of for sure. A slim amount of time of the entire week. And it's a safety thing too with social media. Like Colleen Ballinger has also, I watch her like every day, so like that's why I'm like mentioning her more, but like she talked about how like the house she's at now, before she moved there, she was at a house in I don't know if she still lives in Los Angeles or whatever, but her house in Los Angeles, one of them, she had people showing up to the door and like banging on the windows, and she has children now. Like I don't know if this happened after her twins were born, but regardless if she has kids or not, like that's terrifying.
Still, like they
that's
know
your
where you
safe
live.
space. And I think it's even just showing the inside of your house, like someone, I mean, if you get millions of viewers, it just takes one person to be like, I know the layout of that, like those houses that are laid out like that are in this neighborhood or built by this construction company. Like it really doesn't take a whole lot to be able to track you down if someone wants to. And like it even could start out as like just like a weird curiosity, and then it gets into the wrong hands, and that's when people start showing up. Like thank God those were just like, hopefully, I don't know the fullest extent of it, and like obviously even if she talked about it more, I still wouldn't, because it's not my life. But I hope that she didn't have an actual, I mean, that is a threat to her safety, but like a person that was there to do something bad, because that would be like, that's just terrifying. And they were like banging on the window saying like, Miranda, like that's like so creepy. Like that's like straight out of a horror movie, but like unreal. And like I actually had an experience, like I went to Los Angeles with some friends once, and we drove to David Dobrik's house. And we were like in the like right outside of his gate, and we left, and then all of the friends were like trying to convince me to go back, but I was like uncomfortable with it. I was the driver too, so it was ultimately my decision. And I was getting like guilt tripped into like going back, but we didn't end up going back. But like I was like and I'm kind of surprised in a way that like I didn't give into the peer pressure, and I'm proud of myself that I didn't. But it sucked because I was like, I was having a good time until these people like wanted to go back, like, and even like, cause like I wasn't as close with two of the friends. I was with 3 people. So like 2 of the friends I wasn't as close with. And then a third one was like going along with them. And I was like, damn, like, can't you be my backup here? Like, why do we have to go back to his house? Like, regardless of how you feel about David Dobrik or whatever. And like, this was in like 2018. But I was just like, for whatever reason, I was just like, I'm not doing that. And I think that's a good step to take.
Yeah, literally, like, I can't remember when it was. I think it was like about 2 weeks ago. I was at the outlets and I saw this guy and I recognized him from this show that my dad watches. Really? Yeah, and he used to play on this Mexican soccer league. And I mean, he has been retired, but he was doing this like physical, like, it's kind of not like Survivor, but like, it's like, test your abilities, like agility and like your strength.
American
and
Ninja
stuff like
Warrior?
Kind of like that, but it's like Mexican. It's like in Spanish. It's called Exlaton.
Oh, you know the name of the show. I thought you were trying to figure it out.
No. But he was on it and I saw him and like I even told Rachel, I was like, oh, I think that's the guy from this thing. And like I was like, oh, should I go over and like say something? Like my dad would probably want a picture. Like I was like, I don't know. And then I looked over and he was talking to his kids. I was like, oh, I'm not going to like do that. Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's
and
good.
There was another guy that was there. And I don't think he noticed that he was with his kids because he was looking at something else. But he was like very respectful too. He was like, hey, like I recognize you. Like I loved you when you were playing in that team. Like you're an amazing player. Like it's so awesome to see you. And that he was respectful too. He was like, oh, thank you so much. And like they just shook hands and they went their separate ways.
Yeah. And even with COVID now too, you don't want to like, you don't know how they feel about, I mean, I guess it's like died down, whatever, but like, it's just another element to take into account.
Yeah. And then so Rachel too was like, oh, why don't you like go ask him for a picture? I was like, no, like he's with his family. Like, it's fine. She's like, it's okay. Like, it's just 1 second. I was like, no, like it's fine.
Yeah.
And then I texted my dad. I was like, oh, like I just saw this guy. Like, and he was like, oh, did you take a picture with him? I was like, no, he was with his family. Like, I didn't want to interrupt like that time. And obviously, I don't know if he lives by there. So I was like, I don't want to take his time away if he's on vacation, like with his family, you know?
That's really nice of you.
Yeah. And so like, he like called me, my dad, and he was
the
like,
guy.
Yeah, the guy. And he was like, oh, is like he's signing stuff like at the Puma store because that's where I saw him. And then I was like, no, like he's just walking around. And so I kind of just left it like that. And then like literally maybe an hour and a half later, my dad sends me a picture of them with a guy. And I was like, what the hell? He's like, and then we saw them later when they were walking by and they like signed they got signed jerseys from him.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And so they were like, why didn't you take a picture? I was like, I saw he was with this family. Yeah. Like I understand he's probably not going to be like, go the fuck away. But I'm like, I feel like it's just kind of disrespectful to interrupt that time with his family, you know? Yeah. And I guess sometimes like people are like, oh, you just come up to me, like it doesn't really matter, but I'm like, he's with his family. Like if he were alone, maybe
you don't want to necessarily assume that he'd be okay with that,
exactly.
Right?
So I was just like, I didn't want to make it like a big deal either. So I was just like, whatever.
I remember one time I went to Colleen Ballinger's show in San Diego. I went to multiple San Diego shows of her and to a Vegas one, and I think I went to like 4 total. It's kind of crazy, but like one time we were there kind of early and we saw her sister-in-law and her brother, who are like their own YouTubers, who are pretty popular themselves, and they have 6 kids now. Yeah. And at the time, I don't know how many they had, but like, I remember seeing them and we were like looking at them like kind of from a distance and like debating on whether or not to go up to them. I think we like walked by and we would have said hi, but they were talking to somebody else, like another fan or something. Yeah. But I remember the kids like looking at us because they could tell we were like looking at them. Yeah. And it's just like, you don't want to like, I don't know.
Make them
like
scared.
It seems like you're kind of like overstepping a boundary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in that instance we would have said hi because
they were already talking to someone else.
Yeah, and like they were just like out and about on the street. Yeah, and I'm sure it happens to them all the time, which isn't necessarily excuses it, but I feel like they'd probably be okay with it.
Yeah. And that's why, like, I even told my dad when that happened. I was like, why? Like, did you do that? Like, you came from your house and came
he
here.
Came from the house?
Yes.
Oh,
and
wow.
looked for him around there. Wow. And then, but like, he said, like, oh, they parked right there and they were going one way and he turned around and he was standing right there. So it was like a coincidence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I was just like,
I had no idea you were here.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
No, he literally told him, he was like, oh, my daughter texted me that you were.
Oh my God. Stalker vibes.
Literally.
Like, there's my daughter.
Yeah.
The stalker.
I was like, I'm so glad that I was not around there. He would have been like, she's right there.
Yeah, take a picture with her too.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. And then I feel like social media also like exacerbates their like life too. It's like sometimes they like, yeah, they want to be a public figure, but like when they're out in public, like they don't necessarily always want to be talked to and stuff.
Like how Kim Kardashian's like, I just want to like go to the grocery store.
Yeah,
which I can see people's point of like, you asked for this or like you have so many benefits from this life. Like the least you could do is like interact with the public. But I could totally see how that like every time you go out somewhere, like you can't even, especially someone on Kim Kardashian's level, like you can't even go to get gas or something without like the person at the next
get your
pump.
fucking mail.
Like even like the paparazzi like sitting outside your house, like that's quite something. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and I think we live in an area where obviously we're in Southern California. We're like only an hour and a half from LA. Like I think we live in a kind of densely populated area in terms of social media influencers. They're all around us. And like I know one specific YouTuber where I know she lives somewhere in the same city as me and she's pretty big. And I've been to her. I went to a live podcast recording of hers that was just in the next city over.
Well, that's cool.
So that it was really fun. But and like in her vlogs, like I recognize like the places. I'm like, oh, I've been to that Starbucks like countless times, like, and it's crazy. And she she's like definitely a local, and I think that's only like one I know about. Like I was watching a TikTok yesterday and it was like some girl doing a series. Like it was not a TikTok that only had like 10 likes. It was like it had thousands and thousands of likes. And she was like, this is day 10 or whatever of like doing things after work so that I don't feel sad or something. And she went to the fucking strawberry fields in Carlsbad, picked strawberries, and then went to the beach. I was like, oh my God, like I literally went there for the pumpkin patch in like October or whatever. So it's really cool as like it brings another aspect of relatability. But again, with what you're saying, like you don't want to be like, oh, just because you went to the flower or like the strawberry fields that I've gone to before, like I know you and I know your life story, and like you never really know the ins and outs of what's going on. Even if someone portrays it that way, it's like they could be
still
putting on a front
back.
And and I think a lot of people are too, like, for sure. And I think not necessarily everything's talked about, which doesn't mean you can't be vulnerable. I think we've been vulnerable on the podcast, but like but
even that, I think you were the one that told me, but you went to this YouTuber's house, or he was on Vine or something, and he lived like somewhere near where my apartments were, right?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I don't know if we're talking about the same guy, but there was a Viner and a YouTuber that lived like 2 blocks from my house.
I think we're talking about the same
and
person.
I was like, I hung out with his son a couple times, and that was interesting because at one point they had a party and Gabby Hanna was there, and I didn't know like who she was at that point. I didn't know that the party was going on when it happened, but I found out later on through videos that had been posted. And at that point I knew who Gabby Hanna was, and looking back on it now, like she's even like more well known for like a number of reasons. But I was like, damn, she was like 2 blocks from my house. I definitely lived there when it was like 2013 or so. I think it was like the Vine era, but I was like, wow, that's crazy.
I don't think I've ever like met someone like not super famous, but like well known.
I've met Colleen. I've met Colleen's ex-husband. I met her parents, her sister. I met, this isn't a social media person, but I met Caroline Sunshine from Shake It Up. Gunta and Tinka.
Really?
Yeah, I met her at the Irvine Spectrum. She had like a meetup. I didn't run into her. But I went to Rachel Ballinger's, like that's the sister. I went to her comedy show too, and she had a meetup afterwards. We met about the VIP tickets or something.
Damn.
But beyond that, like the Ballinger family's like I think the only one. I went to the Challenger games that like I think that was what's his name? Not Jake Paul, but the brother. Logan Paul. That was like his thing. And like I went with a friend and like and there were a lot of YouTubers there, but that was like distance. That was in Long Beach at like a stadium. But yeah, that was kind of cool. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I think now I've kind of not outgrown YouTube and stuff, but like I've outgrown those people. Like I wouldn't go to another Miranda Sings show again. Now I wouldn't go to like the Challenger games. But I know Savannah and Cole LeBrant were there, the LeBrant fam. She has a daughter named I don't remember her name, but I actually drove by their house once too because my cousin was driving and she drove us by their house, which like looking back it's like okay, like maybe we shouldn't have done that obviously, but but it was interesting because I was like that's their car, like that's really creepy. Like,
well, it's like David Dobrik too. Like they have like a specific wrapped car that they have outside their house.
Yeah, it's
like
easy
you can
to spot.
tell it's their house when they used to live in that old house.
Oh, okay. That might have been the one I drove by.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm just like you can kind of tell.
Yeah,
and like the Mr. Beast car too. It's like
and JoJo Siwa.
Yeah,
she literally wrapped her fucking face on it.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy that she does that in terms of like. I don't know how often she drives it, obviously, but because I haven't talked to her in a little while, but I just asked her for a couple free bows. But yeah, like someone could maybe she doesn't drive it home. Like, wouldn't you be fucking afraid that like someone's watching you and like I don't know, like gonna murder you?
Yeah,
because like it literally just takes one person with a bad motive to literally kill you. Like that's crazy.
That's so scary to think about.
I know, and it's a convertible.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like honestly that's kind of one of the things that I get worried about with social media, I guess, because I'm just like if people have bad intentions or like don't like me or like just have a fucking vengeance for no reason. And like are like, oh, like I know that back of the house or like, oh, I've seen that like front of the house before or like anything like that. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I'm already so like scared, like irrational like fears of like getting shot literally in my car for no reason or like even when a car passes by when I'm getting in my house I'm like fuck get open.
Really?
Like, I'm already
every time.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And like I don't know, maybe because like as like a woman sometimes like it's kind of like you have to watch your back all the time. You never fucking know. And so and around my house there's been like a few not like I guess like robberies though because like they've opened
there's been a couple shootings near your house
too.
That
too. And like they've actually have gone into my grandpa's car twice.
Oh my god, like broken in.
Yeah. But like he's fucking stupid too. He left it fucking open. So
Unlocked?
they like
Oh.
So he like they literally just opened it and got in. He had like a CD what are they fucking called? Like they were like the little TVs. I can't remember what they're called. And you could put like the CD in it and everything and like it's like a computer but like a CD player.
A DVD player?
Yeah, I guess. But like you could like watch it on there too. Like it's not just the thing that you put the CD in. Like it has a screen to watch the movie. It's like a computer.
Like a DVD player.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. Anyways.
What the fuck?
But they took that and then I think it was his same car because he has a different car now. But they like have gone into it twice and he just noticed because like there's like little things that are out of place that he's like, what the fuck? Like I didn't leave that there.
That's happened to me 3 times here.
There
was a double murder shooting like a mile from here, like just a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And actually less than a couple months ago. And there was like 1 or 2 other shootings even closer. And my car got broken into, like it's like a gated complex.
Yeah.
And someone like they smashed my passenger side window. I remember getting into the car and there was a note on my center console in my car. And I was like, how the fuck is there a note inside of my car? Like usually it's like on the windshield or something. And that's when I noticed like all the glass on the seat like shattered. And then whoever did it came back that night and took my phone charger too. They're like, I want more.
Yeah.
And I hadn't fixed the window yet. So like they just easily got in.
That's
and
crazy.
Then recently, like right around Christmas when I had COVID, I came back to my car for the first time after like isolating for however long. And my lights were on in my car and I was like, oh my God, I'm such a fucking idiot. Like my lights have been on for multiple days. Like how did I even, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then like I went to like, cause when I get into my car, I like lean my elbow on my center console, like adjust myself. And my elbow like went down further cause it was open and I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, okay, so like someone came into my car, a family member, because like to grab something, like took my keys or whatever. And then I opened my trunk. I literally tapped the windows after the center console thing to see if they were still there. I was like, is this actually a window or is this like, has it been broken? And then I checked my trunk and my trunk compartment had been like fucked with. And I was like, oh, like someone rummaged through my car, which if you want to break into my car, my driver's side door doesn't lock, so try that one first. But like, I do genuinely think like, I'm glad my car doesn't lock anymore because I'd rather not have anything valuable in my car and have someone just like look through it and not find anything than have it be locked, think something's valuable in it and then like smash my fucking window. Yeah. Cause that was like $250 with insurance to replace the window. And you have to have someone come out, like vacuum up the glass. Like the glass was like inside my door and shit. I think like there was something that they had to like, I don't know. It was a whole thing. But yeah, you have to deal with insurance. But yeah, that was kind of crazy. And like, it's just like an experience. Like people say like, oh, like I feel violated and stuff, like dead ass. Like you're like, whoa, like this is my space. And like, it just feels weird to think like someone was in here like without my permission.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like one of the things, I don't even know why, like it's just been a thing that I've been scared of for like no reason.
What, the violence?
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
well, there's reason for it if it's happening near your house, but like as long as you're, detached from it can happen to anybody. Like no matter where you are, what time of day. Obviously there are statistically like places and times of days where it's worse. But yeah. Yeah.
And I always make sure to lock my car. Like and that's another thing I'm paranoid about. Like I'll like be walking away from my car. I'm like, did I lock my car? And I'll lock it. And then I'll walk a few steps. I was like, did it really lock though? And then I'll lock it again.
Do you have OCD too? Someone here at the complex, like they will lock their car and it's like boop, 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 boop. Like, I'm like, girl, you like, come, let's have a conversation about this. Like, I know you haven't been diagnosed yet. Yeah. Like, oh my God.
And then I have this thing where
trauma dumping.
Yeah. No, but
the bathroom's over there. And now every time you say trauma dumping, I have to use that joke like I did last time.
But there's this thing where my room is upstairs, so I go down the stairs, and since the like.
Thank you so much for explaining that. Yeah. That you like go downstairs to get out of your house when your room is upstairs.
Anyways, since the front door is right there, I always look through like the little peep. Like it has like a window. You know what the fuck it looks like. So I
actually. Like your door itself?
Yeah, the white one.
I don't remember.
It has like it's white and it has like an oval like glass in the middle.
Like blurred glass?
Yeah. And there's like one spot where you can like see through it like good enough.
Like a peephole.
Yeah. And I always, every time I come down, I get on my tippy toes, look outside, and then make sure no one's out there and then walk away. I don't know why.
When you come... You're like not going outside.
No.
You're coming down from your room.
Yes.
And you're going like
and
downstairs to grab something.
Like, the kitchen or something.
Interesting.
And then, or if I don't do it when I walk down, I do it when I go up.
That kind of makes me think.
You diagnosing me with OCD,
but like, I don't know. It kind of seems like it could be a symptom because you feel like you have to do it.
Yeah, because if I go downstairs, I'm like, oh, I forgot, and then like I'll do whatever I need to do, and that's the one thing I don't forget. Yeah,
the obsession is like the safety aspect. Let me do an example. A mental
Hook
exam.
me up with your therapist.
Yeah, put like the stickies on your brain. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up last time, but I was like, I don't want to take the light away from him.
Take the what?
The light away from him, like the spotlight.
The thunder. Yeah. Thank you so much for giving me my mental health thunder about my disorder.
But yeah, I don't know. That's like always a thing. Wow. And it recently started. Like it's not like a thing that like it's been like since I was younger.
Yeah. But I'm laughing because like we started like, yeah, when did you get on Facebook? And now we're like, I think I might have OCD. It's straight off so far.
Yeah. And that's why I think like with the stuff on my floor, like you know about it, like I hate having things on my floor, and I think like every time I have something on my phone, I'm like, oh, I have to pick that up. Or, like I have to put it like on my desk at least, or not have it.
And
on
it's
the
like
floor.
I have to like I will not like that's interesting.
Yeah,
because that's like what the ERP is too, like the exposure response prevention. Like your exposure would be, I don't know if it was OCD. Your exposure would be like leaving the stuff on the floor and being like, that's okay. Like
me when I go to Rachel's house.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. She's an exposure.
Yeah.
I mean, like literally though. As long, I mean, maybe it's different if it's not your room or whatever. But but yeah, I certainly like. I noticed that recently. Like it got cluttered in the apartment, and I was like this is stressing me out. The fact that like it's just there, like it doesn't feel as organized as it was. Like it's starting to pile up because I think like eventually like there was like stuff from the holidays brought in.
Yeah.
And, like stuff was just adding up and adding up, and I was like, oh, like this is not gonna.
That's what I do. Like there'll be like a few things, and I'm like, oh, like it's fine. I'll clean it up tomorrow. I don't have time today, and I'm like, oh, I don't have time today either, and I'll just push it off, and then there's a pile, and I'm like, fuck, this is
That's
horrible.
Probably what spring cleaning is. It's like everything from that year. It's like, okay, this is the time to push it out.
I do that every like 3 days though.
It's almost spring. What is that, like March 21st?
Yeah. It's like I do it like every 3 days at least.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I used to be a lot more messy. Like you probably saw I probably like frantically cleaned it up before you came over, but like I remember there was like I feel like we've mentioned this too on the podcast. Like there was a Jack in the Box shake that had been spilled on my beige carpet.
What do you think about like the shows where they're like just like like the hot table or whatever the fuck it's called? Where they just talk about like they talk about like other celebrities' lives.
I'm not totally familiar with that. I just know the name of it.
Yeah. Well, no, just like anything like that in general, like other famous people talking about other famous people's lives on the internet or like on just in the whole.
I think if it's like based on social media, it's like, okay, maybe we should take a step back and like realize that we might not have the full picture. But I was watching like the Dance Moms reunions recently and like just like snippets of them. But like that's different where like you've actively worked with these people. But even like it from a viewer's perspective too, it's like it's probably edited, especially the Dance Moms one, in such a way where like, I mean, that's the thing again, where like when there's money involved and it's people's livelihoods that you're dealing with, like you almost can't blame them for like wanting to edit it in such a way where it's like, oh shit, grab the popcorn, she's throwing hands or whatever. Like it's interesting that they call it reality TV, but it's like the reality is like the last thing it is. So I think that's something that social media brings to the table that TV doesn't necessarily have a history of. Like again, it can offer like genuine stories and whatnot and be inspiring and all that shit. But like YouTube, like it's up to the person. Like and especially when someone's doing it out of passion and there is no money involved, like it's literally just someone like pressing record on their own camera that they've potentially bought with their own money. Like I just feel like social media, specifically YouTube as opposed to TV, has more of a tendency to be genuine.
Yeah, because my grandparents love to just watch it, and it's in Spanish, so it's like other celebrities, but like for like I understand for like the Oscars and like all the award shows that they judge like everybody's like outfits. Yeah. And then I'm like, do you guys realize that they don't dress themselves either?
Yeah. Like, and those can be fun. Like yeah. And I understand that, but I'm like, sometimes they like go at them so hard. I'm like someone fucking dresses you too. Like you don't pick that shit out yourself. Yeah,
like I
just
know you
like
don't
have
dress
fun
like
with it. That's like keep it like surface level.
Yeah. And then like there's this one like specifically where it's like I think it's like 3 women and then like 3 guys, and then there's one guy that's the host, so it's like 4 guys in total. But like
good math.
They just have a like a topic, and then they like talk about that one specific person and kind of like debate on it. But there's this one specific guy on there that I fucking hate. I don't even know his fucking name. I don't even fucking care. But he's like so misogynistic, like super rude and like blunt about things, and then obviously all the girls go at him because he's being like super fucking rude. Like they were talking about makeup, and he was like, oh, like that's just so fake, like people overuse it, and it's like you're not even like the real person at that point when you're putting makeup on. And like one of the girls there was doing her makeup like as she was doing doing this thing,
Rihanna during the halftime show.
And like and like he was just being super rude, and like all the girls were like, it's not even, he's like, you don't even sometimes look that pretty, or like, why are you doing it for us, like you should just be natural. I'm like, they were like, it's not for you, bitch.
Yeah,
like if I want to wear makeup, it's because it's my decision.
It's literally an art form too, like like I guess depending on how you look at it, but and it's like a fun thing to do, and like and it like I hear people describe it as an enhancing of someone's features, or like even if it's not like something you have and you're like enhancing it, like if you're putting on, if you have no eyelashes and you put on fake eyelashes, like so fucking be it. It makes someone more confident, and it makes them have, it betters their life. So like why is it someone else's about themselves? Yeah, why is it someone else's decision? That's like, I don't know, that's stupid. That's really stupid.
And that's why like sometimes I hate watching those things, because I'm like, what gives them the right to like judge other people? And my grandma was like, they're doing it for the money. I was like, I understand, but they're putting other people down too while they're doing this.
Do you think you watch it more intensely though because you are like, why the fuck are they doing that? Or are you not interested? Because maybe that's what they're going for. Like they're trying to go so like off the chain that people are like getting pissed about it, but they're like, God, I need more of this. You know, like that is like
a hate watch,
where it can be like about money. It's like at the end of the day, sometimes all they care about is how many eyes are on them, whether people approve of the show or not. Like when you think about like Trisha Paytas or people with scandals, like like at the end of the day, if they're getting a view and they're monetized, like that's it, that's an ad viewer too,
which is like, it's just so crazy to me, because I'm like, I feel like everybody advocates for like, oh, be yourself, or like doing that, and then they're like, but that didn't look good on you, or you should have not done that. I'm just like
criticizing them.
Right. I don't know. And I feel like that's like a lot of social media now too. And like, that's why sometimes I'm just like, it doesn't even matter. Like at that point, like if people want to know me, they'll come and talk to me and like be my friend, and like, you know, but it's like just looking at you from like a phone, like it's not gonna do shit.
I feel like luckily I don't see that too much on my personal or my work one. It's generally very supportive. But I don't feel like luckily I encounter much like hate or like negativity online. I think where it can get negative is if you're on it too much, you're like relying on like mindlessly scrolling.
Me every day.
But I do think that like sometimes there can be benefits to mindless scrolling. In terms of like your mind is just kind of off and you're taking a break. But I notice for me, like something I notice that happens when I'm on it too much is I will exit out of an app and immediately click on the same app, like it's me going into a different app. And I was like, I was just here. And then like I'm always like, that's always like my wake up call. I'm like, oh, like I've been on like my phone a lot today. But and like with my line of work and stuff, like not only am I on social media more, like that just means I'm on my phone more too. Like I'm always on my fucking phone. And that can affect other areas of my phone too, like how fast I respond to someone's text, or in both ways too. Like I could see it immediately and respond quickly, or I see it and I'm like, if I have to respond to one more fucking message right now, like I'm gonna kill myself. But I think it's interesting how like social media can affect different areas of your life, and like how you treat other people. Like I think it can be very unhealthy. So I think it's an important thing to keep tabs on. Like I know a family member of mine that like takes breaks from like they'll delete the app. They won't delete their account, or like I think I've deactivated my Instagram once, like temporarily. It gives you like 30 days or something. And I remember messaging a couple people in like around high school, like saying like, oh, I'm going to delete my Instagram forever, but like I want to keep in contact with you. Like, what's your phone number? And then I ended up not doing it. But like, I think it's so hard to like, cause it's such a huge part of society now. Like you're kind of missing out on like everything if you're not on social media. So I think it's already, I don't even want to say becoming, I think it's already become like the majority of how we get our entertainment and stuff. Sure. But yeah, it's like, yeah, it can be unhealthy. So it's an important thing to just keep an eye on. And that goes for so many things in life too. Like I don't know, fucking alcohol intake and how much your work-life balance and stuff like that. Like social media life balance is important. Yeah, I know. And I feel like I'm not really on like a lot of other things besides TikTok at the moment. But even then, like, I mean, I don't get a bunch of, like, hate stuff, like, on there, like, people talking shit about other people. But, like, I don't know. I feel like it, like you said, sometimes you'll, like, click out of the app and go back into the same app. I start noticing that my like, videos just start getting boring to me. And I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? And I'll close it. I'll go play, like, solitaire or something. And then I'll come back to it. On like, another after. Phone. Yeah. But I'm just like I don't have anything else to do. So like I'm not just gonna like lay here. I don't have the attention span to like watch a whole ass episode or a whole ass movie. So I don't want to do that. Yeah, I think I personally need to like take time away from social media and allocate it to more like just like healthier habits, like going for a walk or whatever. I think that's something I'm going to be putting more effort into in the near future. But that's not to say that I'll like not be on social media, obviously, especially because it has to do with my work. But like even in my personal time, like I think it can be really fun, like, but everything in moderation type of thing. Yeah. It's just so annoying sometimes where you're like still on it and like you're having a good time. And then that one bitch comes up and is like, hey, you've been on your app for too long. You've been, I'm just like, stop scrolling. Fuck up. TikTok is like the one app where it consistently makes me laugh out loud when I'm alone. Like something about instant gratification. Yeah. That's like, why. I don't even remember like Vine doing that. And it's kind of the same vibe as Vine. Yeah. Instant gratification. And like, which not necessarily instant, like some, like you do have to scroll to find a good, like juicy TikTok video. But like, I have a playlist of like when one like is absolutely fucking hilarious to me, like I'll save it, or even not even necessarily hilarious. Like I'm like, that made me like, that's a funny one. Like I'll save it, and I have like 450 fucking videos now, like that's saved crazy. To that playlist. And I have other playlists too of like, oh, like I love their decor in their house in this one, and like, or this is like a cute like relationship post, or this is interesting. Like I have an interesting playlist. but yeah, I think. Yeah, I love that part of it. That it can, especially when I'm feeling down, like for sure. To get a laugh, it's like, oh, that made me feel good for 0.5 seconds. Yeah. Which maybe those good habits that I implement more will make me happier than that. Yeah. Which, I could definitely see that happening. Yeah. And I like it too because like you can just learn new stuff on it too. Yeah, like, that's true. It's literally like 10, 13, 15 seconds. Yeah. Like they'll show you like, oh, do this and this and this, and then you'll get this. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, shoot, okay. I will say I hate the, like, and I get that, like, it is something you have to deal with when you're on social media. Like, it's about money. Like, like people will be like, they won't get to the point until the end of the video, or they want you to see a part 2 so that you follow them. Oh, bitch, I go for it. Do you? I will go on their account. I will scroll until I see what previously watched, and then I'll watch the one after. I do that, but like in terms of like if the video's just been posted and you need to follow them to wait for them to post the part 2, I'm like, just like, I won't go. Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, why the fuck would you do that? It can be like oddly like not infuriating, but like irritating. Yeah, I've even seen like the comments are like, oh, too early because there's not a next part to it, right? Or like, oh, like hopefully it comes back on my For You page. And didn't that just watched thing used to not be a thing? Like you'd have to actually like go into each video and see if it was the one you're watching. That's so annoying. Yeah, I literally and I don't like with Vines and stuff. Like I never had Vine. Like I never was on Vine, and then Musically too. I was never on Musically. I was never on Musically. I was on Vine. Yeah, what was after that? There was Vine and Musically. There was TikTok? Another one, wasn't there? Between TikTok and Musically? Like the versions of the app? Yeah. I don't think so. Oh, I thought there was another one.
But yeah, but previous like to those, like I've never like been on any of those.
And when you think about like how Vine was started in 2013 and it died, and then Musically became TikTok, and like that's when it really fucking took off. Like you can't help but wonder like what's the next thing gonna be. And like if you're early on one of these apps, like that is like key to like it would be so cool to like I don't know, like I think a social media like career like that would be so fun. It definitely would come with its downsides along with its perks, but like it would be so interesting to be like early on the next big app.
That's crazy. Yeah, like how do you even know that it's gonna take off either way?
Yeah, you kind of just have to like take a shot in the dark and hope it works out, because there's certainly been so many different social media apps that like have gone down the tank, but I think there was that kind of thing with TikTok where like people were like, oh, I hate TikTok or whatever, and then like everyone was on it. So and I think that's just like a human nature thing, like unfortunately, like for a lot of people it's just like like they hate on it because it's like a new thing and it's a change, or like they don't want to hop on the bandwagon or until it becomes a bandwagon or whatever. Like it's stupid.
That's the shit like, I hate too. It's like people are like, they're not even that popular, like why do you even listen to them, or like stuff like that. I'm just like, people have their own like opinions on things.
Like people we're like what they all like. Different. Like just respect my fucking opinion as long as I'm not hurting anybody.
Or even people are like, oh, that's like too popular, I listen to this, or like I watch these people.
Like,
I'm just like,
okay, you clearly have like an insecurity because you're like trying to like get validation from that or be higher up or whatever.
I'm just like, okay, and like
literally,
go to you.
Stupid. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. We will be taking next week. Be on the lookout for that is going to be our once a month viewer submissions episode. So we will be posting. Usually it's probably going to be on like Sunday night or something. That will be on our Instagram story, and you can submit topics you'd like to see on next week's episode of Grain of Salt, whether that's a life experience or I don't know, something like what we've talked about in the previous episodes. If you have another topic that you think is similar and want to hear our thoughts on it and all that. But with that being said, thank you guys so much, and we will see you next Thursday. Bye.